Good morning. My name is Adam Kahn, and I'm the Rational Investor. Today is Sunday, September 3rd. I hope you're all doing well. Memorial Day weekend. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. I'm going to talk a little about Airbnbs because I've been thinking about doing them again. I did them years ago, and I'm going to talk a little bit about experience I had, what I see as myths and reality, because I see a lot of YouTubes on there about things that go on Airbnbs. I know neighbors don't want them. People think that they're big parties and people get rowdy and there's more crime and whatever else. But the interesting thing that I found is Airbnb renters treated my home with more respect than long-term renters. And I have a theory to that. And again, this is just my theory and my own experiences. So if anybody's had something different, I get it. But I really enjoyed my time doing Airbnb, which was about 3 years worth of it. What I find is, A, they pay in advance. So I don't have to worry about collecting rent or somebody being late or not being able to afford it 1 month and having those discussions. I also find since they don't live in the home, they pretty much just sleep there. All the fears and nervousness of the parties that people were going to have, and I live in Vegas, so party town, right? All those concepts of they're going to come in and get rowdy and destroy my home, I found the almost the exact opposite. When I do long-term rentals, they live there, so the kitchen gets used a lot more. The garage, it's amazing how much grease and everything seems to get in the garage in the homes I have. The kitchen has tons of damage with long-term renters. But when I had Airbnb, I found people really went out and they slept there. They might make breakfast, they might have some snacks, they might order a little bit of food, but they really didn't get too deep and dirty into the house, and they went out to have fun. So when I would come in, there was very little damage, very little to do other than have the house cleaned up, wash the sheets, and have it prepared for the next people. The things that I found were annoying were people might take towels. They might take what they took a lot of the time was the wine opener or corkscrew or things like that seem to disappear. But what I started trying to do is have stuff that if they took it, it was no big deal. I'd even put out little toothpastes and toothbrushes and mouthwash and everything else, and I would just expect that it would be gone and I'd have to replenish it. It got annoying with the towels. Um, with knives and stuff like that. But I'd rather deal with that than what I end up dealing with long-term renters, where I find they do real damage in the house. By living there, I find there ends up being a lot more damage. The other thing I found was that many times once somebody got comfortable in your place, that they would rent it again over and over again, year after year. So once somebody found it, they came there, they realized it was what it was, and they enjoyed their time. It became pretty consistent, and it got easier to rent over time and more consistency, and you could even raise your prices once somebody's comfortable there. Takes a little time to build a customer base, but once you do, it's pretty neat. They'll reach out to you directly, ask if it's open. They'll let you know that they may have a friend coming to town or things like that. And then the other thing that's nice in Vegas is when we have big events, now we have F1 coming and Super Bowl and some other things. There are really some big area times or big dollar weeks and things like that where you could do really well on an Airbnb.